Boy, are we in for it after this. Man, Bruce Banner predicted this ending all the way back in Immortal Hulk, in the last issue, and we'll talk about that through the course of this. But it's in this issue where we've reached the point where we're getting the origin of the Infernal Hulk. So with that said, let's get to it. So if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to drop a like or a hype, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell up top to get all notifications. Alright, so jumping back into this story, first thing I want to do is a bit of a recap, or really just a reminder of what's been going on between Bruce and the Hulk throughout this whole series, as well as what's been going on with the Eldest, with her coming into the picture as a byproduct of the conclusion of Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk. But starting with Bruce and the big guy. From the beginning of this series, these two were coming hot off the heels of the whole Smastronaut situation, which at the time was like Bruce's over-the-top attempt at getting control of the Hulk, since abnormal things were happening as a result of how Immortal Hulk concluded. And I would say this particular detail, it really shows the difference between Donny Cates' approach after Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk with the Smastronaut story and the choices made by Philip K. Johnson in the Incredible Hulk series we're covering now. Because there were a few things that Banner said at the end of Immortal Hulk after leaving the Below place that just makes everything since then make a lot more sense. Because when Bruce came back from the Below place, he couldn't remember much as far as how things had went down, but there were two things that he mentioned at the time that really stood out. Because for one, walking away, he asked himself, did I somehow absorb the devil on my shoulder? Did I lay an old ghost to rest? Then he asked himself, have my fellow alters worked out some differences? And really, I'm looking at all this as like the first thing, because at the time, this really came off like Bruce was saying that he could only see or sense the Savage Hulk in Joe Fixit, and him more or less assuming that the other ones had worked things out, and going forward, things would perhaps be more manageable, which we would later see was definitely not the case. But between this physical difference and the next thing that Bruce says, this is where a lot of the trouble kicks in, because next Bruce is like, or is it just the feeling of a door as old as Gamma itself closing, and a new one opening wide? Which at the time was Bruce being optimistic and really just hoping things would get better, but going into this series, it's almost like Philip K. Johnson took that line personal. Because after Immortal Hulk, when Bruce closed the green door, this created the opportunity for the Eldest to return, who is the firstborn of Venruvial, the Mother of Horrors. And from the start of the series, her mission has been to free her mother, Venruvial, who had been locked away for eons and can only be freed by the one who carries the green flame. And this stems from her being defeated by the one above all, and the fight between the two of them creating Gamma in Marvel Comics, and Venruvial, or the Mother of Horrors, not being able to return because the one below all wouldn't allow it. And we saw an example of this when one of the stories took us many years back, where the Eldest tried to use Enkidu, who's the Hulk we were introduced to in Time of Monsters, by taking his body since she's the oldest and most powerful skinwalker. But she tried to use him to open the door, only to be stopped by the one below all. And fast forward to the modern day, after Bruce quote-unquote absorbed the devil on his shoulder, Bruce and his Hulk were now the only thing standing between the Eldest and her freeing Venruvial. But when she tried to do the whole skinwalker thing on the Hulk, it didn't work. And we later found out that this was because when Bruce went to go see Dr. Voodoo, he put a spell on them, and more specifically, Bruce, that wouldn't allow the Eldest to just take control of the Hulk. The only problem with this spell that Dr. Voodoo put on Bruce is the fact that lately it's been getting weaker and it's starting to wear off. And on top of that, the Eldest also took Dr. Voodoo to the Requiem Plane, which is where the Hulk eventually found him. And soon after that, we'd see that the Eldest wanted the Hulk here, because over time, with her taking different Gamma-powered individuals, she had been draining their blood and their Gamma as a way to bring back the physical body of Emil Blonsky, the Abomination, so she could use it to defeat the Hulk and free the Mother of Horrors. Which brings us to where this picks up now. And I mean, I definitely skipped a lot, but that pretty much covers what you need to know for what's happening here. But what's really interesting jumping right into this is the fact that the Eldest, she doesn't even understand why it has to be the Hulk who opens the door. And I mean, she gets it to an extent as far as how the green flame works, but she doesn't know why it has to be him, because she's tried with the others she's taken, like Scar, Doc Sasquatch, Betty, and Crusher Krill, and not even the Abomination's body can do it. So she's really flipping out like, why you? Like, what makes you so special? But I'll also say, man, this fight between the two of them, it goes hard, because it doesn't take long for Hulk to figure out what he's dealing with here, as far as how strong the Eldest is in this body. Because there's a moment here when she swings with the right and Hulk blocks it, and just after that she follows up with the left, and that one connects. And you know, this kind of reminds me of when I was in middle school. We played this game called Open Chest, and if you didn't have that hand up over your chest, you was finna catch one of these. And whenever somebody get hit, the teacher be like, oh my God, why would you do that? Oh man, boys will be boys. But aside from the Eldest going on here about why you, why does it have to be the Hulk? She then goes on to tell him, your flesh is mine. All flesh is mine, as she punches and breaks the chain just behind the Hulk. But this is something she's said throughout this series, because going back to when she initially started coming after the Hulk and Bruce to get the Hulk, time and time again, the Eldest has been very vocal about all flesh belonging to her. And this mainly stems from her being the first skinwalker, so because of that I guess she feels kind of entitled to it. But also the whole hierarchy of monsters plays a part in this too, because with her being Venruvial's firstborn, technically the only monster above her is her mother, which is why the Eldest was able to call out to all the monsters around the world and request for them to bring her the Hulk. Even though they didn't have to do it, she was able to make that call. Because some creatures like Man-Thing were like, I heard what she said, but that's going to be a no from me. So again, when the Eldest says something like this, that's where she's coming from, because she believes she has the right to take whoever's flesh she wants, including the Hulk's. So now after everything, she's just like, give it up. But now with Hulk knowing that he's got to step it up and he's got to work for this one, he just starts grabbing whatever weapons here in the Requiem plane. Like at one point, this sword that he just smacks the Eldest with here. But as we know, these were all weapons that were left behind by all the different monsters who were destroyed here by the One Below All eons ago. And I mean, to effectively call it what it is, these were the younger siblings of the Eldest, but the Hulk don't care about that right now. He's aiming for the fences, and the Eldest just flies through another one of these chains, breaking it. And throughout this, the Hulk is just like, how many of your bones do I have to break for you to shut up? And he just grabs that broken chain and slams one of the floating skulls on top of the Eldest. And it's like, man, we've been seeing these floating skulls here throughout this series, but it's like, man, who's seen this coming? And I mean, I'll tell you who didn't, the Eldest. But even now, with the Hulk giving her the headbutt that no one saw coming, she tells him that she is determined to open that door. So Hulk just kicks Eldest in the chin and he's like, oh, I guess I gotta break one more. Or maybe just pull your head off. Let me see something. And I'm gonna tell you, man, like this Hulk with Banner locked away in the Hulkscape, and I mean, Banner, he's figured out how to get a word in here and there. He's learned some tricks. But effectively, the Hulk has been on his own. And this guy has been pretty brutal. And it doesn't stop here, because next, when he grabs the Eldest's horns and he starts pulling, for a second it's kind of like, oh, what? Wait a minute, because they start hearing popping and cracking. But the Eldest tells him here, no, this ends not with my death, nor even yours. And as the Hulk breaks her horns off, she spins around, slicing him through the gut, only to then punch right into the Hulk. And she says here, even now a trace of Dr. Voodoo's protection is on you. I cannot inhabit your flesh, or rather, I cannot inhabit Banner's, but I have magic of my own. Time, I think, for you and Banner to be free of each other. And that's where she just rips Bruce right out of the Hulk's body, which is only possible because she used magic. I mean, it's not like Bruce is always in there, just chilling in the fetal position when he hulks out. Nah, this is straight up magic. And the Hulk didn't see this coming at all, because he thought this was just a brawl. And I guess it's a lesson to be learned when someone brings magic tricks to a fist fight. You gotta be ready for anything. And I'll also say, in the past, we've seen the Eldest do things before that hinted towards her being a magic user, like bringing Charlie Tidwell back to life, or creating projections when she spoke to Betty, like in the first issue, I think it was. But since she's a fairly new character, it's been tough to say whether these things were part of her power set or if she was actually using magic. So for her to do this now, it really comes as a surprise. And I mean, she just throws Bruce to the side like a reverse unboxing, like he means nothing to her. And at this point, with the Hulk knowing that they've lost, he looks at Banner and he says, Banner, you were right about the kid. Tell her I'm sorry, which is referring to Charlie Tidwell, who had left him some time back. And just after the Hulk says this, the Eldest just rips into him, and she finally takes control of the Hulk's body, which is what she's been after this whole time, to free the Mother of Horrors. So immediately after this, she goes to open the doorway to free her mother, Venruvial, the Mother of Horrors, from her prison. And now it's fairly easy in comparison to what we've seen before, because now in the present day, the One Below All is out of the way and the Hulk carries the green flame. So she's able to make her way inside easily. And when she does, she goes inside and she's like, I've done it, Mother. I've come. But there's no response. So she continues saying, Mother, Mother, I've come to bring you home. Mother, where are you? And after searching deeper and deeper inside of this prison, she eventually finds the Mother of Horrors. And she's dead. Or as dead as an Elder God can be in Marvel Comics. So the Eldest says here, Mother, it's me, your Eldest. I found you. And she breaks the chains that are holding Venruvial here, as she goes on to say, Rise. The green door is shut. There's only us now. Your children await you. Will you not rise? Will you not speak to me? Can you not see me? Mother, remember your strength, your beauty, your cunning. Rise. Know you how long I've searched, how far I've traveled, the oceans of blood I spilled for you. And now she's just shaking her by the eyeball, like, hey, get up, get up. and she's just yelling, "Rise, rise." But eventually, with the Eldest not getting a response from the Mother of Horrors, it comes to the point where the Eldest is like, you know what, if you will not rise, then I will take your power for my own. And that's when the Eldest just starts chomping down on the flesh of Enruviel, her own mother, the Mother of Horrors. And it's insane the way she's digging it. Like, at one point, she starts laughing hysterically, like she's going in. And just after this, we're told here, the green door is shut. The one below all is gone. Mother is gone. The fractured sun is gone. All that remains is Hulk, as we see that hand punching out of the prison. And now it's much bigger than it was before. It was looking crazy before. But yeah, these are the events that lead us straight into Infernal Hulk, as well as the beginning of the Age of Monsters. And we also get some really interesting text towards the end, with it saying how Banner was unique, being able to bear this burden, or bear this weight that few immortals could have. And there's a moment where the Eldest is like, I wonder if his friends, the other heroes of this time, if corrupted, would they burn as brightly as Banner? And for me, when I hear that, I'm thinking two things. I mean, three things actually. Because for one, this could just be the Eldest going forward and doing what her mother would have done. Or two, she could be testing the other heroes to be looking for another upgrade. Or three, Infernal Hulk could be where we find out what all Banner and the Hulk absorbed at the end of Immortal Hulk. Because to me, this will be the perfect time to solidify the Hulk as the new one below all. And it creates an opportunity to bring back some Hulks who have been gone for a long time, like the Devil Hulk, who deserves better because all he wants to do is protect Bruce. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like or a hype, and let me know if you guys are excited for this new Infernal Hulk series coming in November, because Philip K. Johnson's coming back to write it, and I think he's gonna keep cooking. Let me know what you guys think. And so now real quick, I want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you guys for all of your support. And for anyone who's new here who wants more information on how to support the channel, I got a link below where you can go to patreon.com/dopespill. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll do it again on the next one. All right, later.